Aileen would take in every homeless dog she saw in the streets if she could. This poor girl from Worcester will do well enough now. There's nothing amiss with her that rest won't mend. We may yet have 2 births here for this Christmas, for she can't well be moved until she's safely over her lying-in. But I dare say most of your guests will soon be shrugging off their fears and heading for home. A few have left already, said Cadfael, and more of the hale ones will be off within days. It's natural they should want to get home and repair what they can. They say the king is on his way to Worcester with a strong force. If he leaves the garrison better found, they should be safe over the winter, though they'll need to draw stores from eastwards, for their own reserves will all have been carried off. Cadfael knew from old experience the look, the stench, the desolation of a gutted town, having been both soldier and sailor in his young days, and seen service far afield. And besides wanting to reclaim what's left of their store before Christmas, he said, there's the spur of the winter coming. If the roads are cleared of bad customs now, at least they can travel dry-shod and warm enough. But another month, another week, it may be, and who knows how deep the snow will be. Whether the roads are cleared of bad customs, said Hugh Berengar in wary reflection, is more than I should care to say. We have a pretty firm hold here in Shropshire, thus far. But there's ominous word from east and north, besides this uneasiness along the border. When the king is all too busy in the south and his mind on where his Fleming's next pay is to come from, and his energy mostly wasted in wavering from one target to another, ambitious men in remoter parts are liable to begin to spread their honours into palatines and set up kingdoms of their own. And given the example, the lesser fry will follow it. In a land at war with itself, agreed Cadfael somberly, you may take it as certain that order breaks down and savagery breaks out. Not here it shall not, said Hugh grimly. Prescott has kept a close rein, and in so far as it falls to me as his man, so will I. For Gilbert Prescott, King Stephen's Sheriff of Shropshire, was planning to keep Christmas in the chief manor of his own honour, in the north of the county, and the castle garrison and the rule of law throughout the southern half of the shire would be left in Berengar's hands. This attack on Worcester might be only a foretaste of further such raids. All the border towns were at risk, as well from the precarious loyalties of constables and garrisons as from the enterprise of the enemy. More than one lord in this troubled land had already changed his allegiance. More than one would do so in the future, some perhaps for the 2nd or 3rd time. Churchmen, barons, and all, they were beginning to look first to their own interests and place their loyalty where it seemed likely to bring them the greater profit. And it wouldn't be long before some of them came to the conclusion that their interests could be served just as well by flouting both contendants for the crown and setting up on their own account. There was some talk of your castellan in Ludlow being none too reliable, observed Cadfael. For all King Stephen set him up in the honour of Lacy and trusted Ludlow Castle to him, there have been rumours he was casting his eyes towards the Empress. Touch and go with him, as I heard it, if the king had not been close and with a sharp eye on him. Anything Cadfael had heard, Hugh had certainly heard. There was not a sheriff in the land who hadn't all his intelligences alerted these days, and his own ear to the ground. If Yossi de Dinan in Ludlow had indeed been contemplating defection and thought better of it, Hugh was content to accept his present steadfastness, but with reservations, and was watching him still. Distrust was only one of the lesser horrors of civil war, but saddening enough. It was well that there could still be absolute trust between tried friends. In these days there was no man living who might not suddenly have acute need of a steady and stout back.